Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the zoo. The minions with me this evening are Tyr,
What up?
Adam,
Hello.
and as it is once again a Friday, but not the first Friday of the month, I am the keeper for this evening, Sanguine. How are both of you doing tonight?
I'm good. Cold, but good.
How about you, Adam? And how the fuck are you cold? It's been hot as shit near us.
Right now in my city it is 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's
We
not
just had.
cold.
Oh God, Jesus Christ, you motherfucking polar bear! Didn't I tell you before I dislike the cold?
That's
I mean,
most cool.
in all fairness, it has been kind of chilly in the evening, at least in our area.
It's just been
but
miserable hot for me.
oh, well, what miserable hot? Um, I work with somebody who's from Arizona, and he's like, "Oh man, this is nothing. I'm used to 80-degree weather, and it's like a breath of fresh air." And it's like, dude, no, yeah.
Well, currently it is 10:30 p.m. for me, and it is 77 degrees outside.
God, I wish I were where you guys are.
It is miserable.
Dude.
It is heaven. By comparison.
Oh yeah. So that's the temperature. But you were saying, how are you doing, Adam? Because we cut you off to talk about weather.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm doing all right.
Damn it, ants! I'm gonna kill all of you. I'm gonna kill your mothers.
Cool. And you know, yeah, watched Thunderbolts. Thought it was pretty cool. Played the new game Sega versus Capcom, and thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, shit, I'm happy it's Friday. I'm ready for the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I saw for Thunderbolts, it kind of looks like they're going, oh God, what have we done? What have we done? What have we done? Trying to reverse course. And
Good luck with that.
A decent attempt, but is it going to be too little too late?
I think it's a little too late because they're coming out with a movie called Ironheart.
Oh yeah,
and
that's god awful because that is
no one likes
a strong black woman.
Wait,
how did she get her powers? She stole them.
Hold on, I did they release the movie already, or is
no? It's still being it's still being
worked on?
But,
okay.
Yeah, but see the problem with that shit in itself is Riri. All right, this. Let me explain to Riri Williams. The first her introduction to the comic book universe. Her first introduction is her as an 8-year-old kid. Her teacher, her white teacher, asking her what she wants to be when she grows up. She goes, she wants to be Iron Man, and her teacher, this old white lady, goes, okay, that's cool. You know, that's nice. Good. You can be Iron Man. And she goes, no, you're supposed to tell me I can't be Iron Man. That way I can subvert your expectations and become Iron Man. And the teacher looks fucking exasperated. Like she's done this before. Oh, fine. What the fuck ever. You can't be Iron Man.
Wait. Hold on. What grade was
I can't remember. I think I will look up the introduction for Riri Williams.
Was it an early age?
Yeah, it was a young kid, Riri Williams introduction.
It was like mid-teens when it happened here. So
Okay.
No, that's when she gets her powers.
Mid-teens. It was mid-teens, as in when the comic book came out.
Oh,
was
okay,
gonna say,
yeah.
I can understand like a teenager or someone like that, you know, acting like that. But no, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Go on.
No,
Sorry.
she was like third grade maybe. I need to
Oh no,
like
dude, third grade. She's fucking tossing
she
around Play-Doh and Legos.
no she's literally just this insufferable little bitch from here. It is. I found it. View image. Wait a minute. Let me see. Make sure I found. This is the one. I want. She said she wanted to be a scientist. You know. All right. Okay. I hear this. I'm gonna put it up on screen. It's just one page, and it's like her first introduction to like the comic book universe. Share screen.
Step back in.
And it was all right. So it reads, if you can't see it, hi, this is Quiet Time, Miss Williams. I wanted you to know what I decided to be when I grow up. All right, let's hear it. I'm going to be a scientist. Great. That's great. No, you're supposed to say, you mean like a nurse. Then I say, why would I say that? You're supposed to tell me nursing and teaching are noble professions that people like me don't get to grow up to be scientists. Why would I do that? That's what they said to the first African American female astronaut. Well, that's a long time ago. She told them, no, I'm going to be a scientist. And then she did it. Her intro fucking induction. Her being a little insufferable bitch. Again, it's right here. Mm-hmm. Like
the part that is so baffling to me.
You can tell the screen now. Okay.
Yeah, Sanguine, you need to come from downtown.
Yep, I do. Because
come
I'm
all the way, yeah.
Fucking turning zucchini that's fresh out of the oven.
So that's a bad take.
It's not a bad take. The zucchini is going to be delicious. But the thing that drives me crazy about her is rather than making her own character, rather than making it so that she makes her own shit, and it's a case of convergent technology. So,
Yes.
Are you guys familiar with what convergent technology means?
It's technology that is similar, but different enough that it can be distinct.
It is two people that design something, and then the end product looks very similar, but works slightly different to do the same thing.
Fair.
Really cool premise. Yeah. Happens all the time. Convergent technology. You also have convergent evolution, where you'll have two branches of evolution get rather close. So, for an example, the wing has evolved several times throughout evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And all the wings that we have today are not from the same line of wing. Bird wings evolved at an entirely different fucking time than bat wings.
Yes.
But bird wings and bat wings are very fucking similar. They aren't entirely the same, but they're very similar. You could have had a cool... Oh, go ahead.
Are you trying to say, like, you're cooking bat wings and this is why it's justified?
Yes.
I'm not saying that we're cooking bat wings. I'm saying that they could have made it so that Riri Williams was the bat wing to Iron Man's bird wing, or vice versa.
Okay, hold on. Batman, first of all, didn't steal the technology to make his Batcave.
Oh, did I say Batman by accident?
No, I
said Batwing.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Yeah.
No, I am. I don't know if I'm deliberately doing it, but I don't know.
Batman didn't Steel is tech, which is the part that makes Batman as cool as he is. Because if Batman had just stolen all of his shit from some other hero
from the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I moved back. And
I know,
forth
no, dude, you're actively cooking.
Yes. So,
all right, but see the problem with
if they had it where she had developed her own tech, and it was just similar to Iron Man, I think a lot more people would like her character. But no, what they did was Iron Man disappears. Riri Williams, how does she get her Iron Man suit? Did she make it herself? Fuck no.
She fucking steals it. She steals it and makes a fucking knockoff.
For some goddamn reason, the people that go, hey, I don't like this character because it's kind of fucked up, they're the ones that are racist, not the people that every time that they have a black superhero, they go, well, how do they get their powers? They steal them. What?
I mean, maybe not steal, but like borrow for a bit.
No. All right, I found the second. Hold on, I found the second page. I found the second page of this.
Hey, Six.
Right. Yo, 60.
And Ron.
Hello.
I found the second page of it. All right, the dialogue again. This shit is fucking insane.
Mr. Yes. Hello, chat. Sorry.
All right. Yes, that was a long time ago. Things are different. Things were different back then, but because of people like her, a girl like you can do whatever you want, fly wherever you want, be anyone you want. I was kind of hoping for you to tell me the opposite, so I would have something to inspire me to prove you wrong. Sorry, I can't help you. And the look on her face, like the fuck.
Yeah, you bitch, you're supposed to be racist. Why aren't you being racist against
Yes! Why isn't there racism for me to overcome? Why am I not getting this oppression? Where's my oppression?
Oh, why? If
Again,
you understand why they don't have the oppression based on the panels that you're given, you're racist.
No, let me tell you again. Riri, like he said, Riri would be a good character. You know what would make her an even better character? She had a different power set. Maybe she actually becomes iron. She has an iron heart. Maybe she goes cyborg and shit. Maybe she becomes fucking cyborg.
Yeah, but even if, like I said, she built her own exosuit, because that's what Iron Man's power set is. He builds an exosuit. If she had made an exosuit that had some similarities, but then differences. So Iron Man has the repulsor tech. What if instead of the repulsor tech, her suit was based on fucking plasma?
Well, hold on. That's
you can
Warhammer. Or not, War Machine. That's War Machine right there. It's
an Iron Man suit with different sorts of weaponry.
A different setup. But also the whole point of comic books is the stories that they're telling. So Iron Man might be doing this, while War Machine, based on his outfit, would do that. Ironheart could have done the same thing.
Sanguine, change it back so we're not looking at a black screen.
Let me put this back in.
Oh.
Sorry. There we go. So,
that's racist.
What?
It should have been that they went, okay, we have this character. First of all, make her an actual fucking character. Don't make her... I've explained this before. The difference between a black character and a character that happens to be black. Currently, they made her a black character.
Yes.
They should have made her a character who happens to be black. And there's all kinds of characters who are characters that happen to be black that did this beautifully. So, a good example from the DC side is Steel.
Yes.
Steel is
he's literally Batman of he's a down store Batman.
Yeah, He is a Batman-esque sort of character where he makes all of his own gadgets. He's thinking up how to do this. He has contingencies upon contingencies upon contingencies. Just he goes for a different motif. And Batman, while he's trying to make all of his armor as thin and flexible as he can, while still offering protection, Steel's like, nah, fucking armor plate. Fuck it. I'm going to become a walking tank. I'm going to be goddamn terrifying. I'm going to be Iron Superman. Yeah, I'm going to have a huge fucking hammer that has all kinds of gadgets within it. But even if all my gadgets malfunction, I have the ability to just hit them with a huge fucking sledgehammer.
Yep.
Different characters with, again, that kind of convergent technology where it's two people in isolation develop similar things that do similar things but differently.
Based off of different tactics. Yeah.
Yeah, based off of their own character. And that's what the deciding bit should be. It should be your character, is how you go for either I'm going to go lethal or I'm going to go non-lethal. I'm going to go for this animal motif or this animal motif. I'm going to do this or that. It should all come down to the character. Batman, he dresses up like a bat because he had the traumatizing experience with bats when he was young. They terrified him, so he went, I want to terrify criminals. How do I terrify criminals? I become the thing that terrified me. And that motivates why they look that way. It motivates why they function the ways that they function. That's the way that it should fucking be. But for some goddamn reason, that crop of superheroes that came out around the time of Riri Williams, it was, if they were a minority, they stole their powers.
Yeah,
I don't know why they decided that every minority from that group stole their shit, but they decided that every minority from that group stole their shit.
I don't, again, it is the exact same reason why I fucking can't stand Miles Morales. Again, and I can instantly fix, Ange, I can instantly fix Miles Morales. Instantly. Divest him from Spider-Man. Have him move to across the, on the other side of America, the East Coast, go to the West Coast. Have him establish himself there and get away from Spider-Man and the identity of Spider-Man and establish himself as an actual fucking character. Give him his own crop of villains. Give him, have him change his name. He's no longer Spider-Man. He is the Arachnid. He is, 8 legs. I don't fucking care. Something that is not Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he would instantly improve as a character to me. And stop shoehorning this little motherfucker and everything. By Odin's fade. Oh, that line pisses me off to no fucking
shit. One of the easiest things that they could have done in order to differentiate him was Spider-Man has that kind of Black Widow motif going. If they had made Miles Morales a funnel web motif, where rather than
I got one better for you. Have maybe he's a trapdoor spider.
Yep.
That shit would be epic.
Or trapdoor, or any other fucking type of spider. I mean, had a more interesting character because, again, that is, you're going for a difference that is similar, but you can build in. Well, why did he go for the funnel web spider? Why did he go for a trapdoor spider? Why did he become the tarantula?
Shit, and his power sets would instantly be different because I'm using the trapdoor spider because I love them. Instead of climbing walls, he can add tunnels in reality. I don't fucking know. Just something different. He can't climb walls, but he can make holes in light, in reality, and hide in them and trap motherfuckers. I don't know.
Yeah, he's able to burrow into shit that he shouldn't be able to burrow into.
Yeah!
He's able to set up ahead of time in an area. So rather than it being that he stumbles upon the criminals, he has to think ahead. He has to plan his shit out. So it isn't that he's actively seeking out the criminals, but he has to go, okay, the criminals have hit here, 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 and here.
Counting
So,
time and space.
The next place that they're going to hit is here. And then he goes and he plans it out and he sets up shop. And then as they walk in, suddenly they just start getting picked off from different sides and different angles. Because he's set up the fucking shop so that wherever they were about to commit the crime, he's everywhere.
Again, Raymond says Spider's Man is a character that is a major threat across the Spider-Verse. They spread out across the web of life, in fact, all other universes out there. Spider-Man, a hive mind made of spiders. No, it's not even that. It's just Miles Morales in general. I don't care if there's a multiverse of Spider-Man.
Web thing?
It shouldn't be, because Madam Web isn't related to Spider-Man in that sense. Madam Web is because the life support system that she uses looks like a fucking web.
And the thing is that there's a shit ton of Spider-Men from around the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
And a lot of them are very fucking different than each other.
Yes.
The problem is that you have Peter Parker Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man
filling the same niche.
And their difference is one of them's black and gay.
And one of, I didn't know about the gay part. Great. That just fucking adds part.
If I remember correctly, Miles Morales is gay.
But Miles's power set is fucking insane. All right, Peter Parker has essentially the spider sense. He has enhanced strength. He has the ability to make webs. Sometimes it's through the knowledge of chemical combination. Sometimes it's genetic. And then he has wall crawling. Those are his 4 main power sets. Miles has those power sets plus taser touch, invisibility, and like he has like one other ability I can't he electrifies webs. Like he has too many fucking things going for him. He is literally, oh well, my OC is better than your OC because he can do everything your character can do plus these 3 things.
And that's the thing. It should always be that each character, if they were given a situation, they tackle it slightly differently. But it should also be that their powers slightly differ.
Your face is invisible, Kefki.
And it shouldn't just be that the way that they slightly differ is, well, this one is a clear upgrade in power set. Unless you're making a character that is designed to be, this one has to think through their shit more because they have the inferior power set, which is a story that fucking works.
Yeah, but see, again, the problem is the problem isn't all right. So the new guy should have the inferior power set because he's the new guy. It should be him learning how to use his powers the same way the old guy with his cool power set. But again, give him something different. Like make him not don't fill Spider-Man's niche because we already have Spider-Man. And again, I'm pissed off that they keep making Spider-Man younger and fucking younger. I hate that. Adult Spider-Man was the GOAT because, and I identify with adult Spider-Man because fucking I'm an adult. I know the fucking struggles of, job, fun, hobby.
Adult Spider-Man. See, you can have young Spider-Man if you're doing a read. Because Spider-Man, when he first starts off, Spider-Man's fairly young.
Yes.
So if you're doing a complete reboot, yeah, start out with your young Spider-Man. If you're not doing a complete reboot, then continue on with Spider-Man the age that the series left off with.
29-year-old Spider-Man.
Yeah, plus or minus a couple years. So if the previous series, you're not doing a complete reboot, but you're changing some things about it, and he ended up at 29, and you want to start with 27, that's close enough. Go for it.
Yeah. Again,
but don't go to teenager unless you're doing a reboot.
Again, I don't even want, like, he didn't get his power sets as he was pretty much an adult. He was 18. He was a senior in high school when he got those powers. And I hate the constant. I say this again, and I'll keep saying this again. I fucking hate Far From or No Way Home on the grounds that they give Uncle Ben's fucking line to Aunt May.
Yep.
The whole reason why he became a superhero is because of that line.
Yep.
With great power comes great responsibility. And he realized that he had great powers and he could have stopped the villain that killed his uncle when he had the chance, but he didn't.
There's one way that they could have given it to her and it not have been an issue.
If she reminded him to do it.
Yep. If it was indicated in how it was said that you know this.
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Which is what they were trying to do because they wanted to be able to pick an actor who was able to last at least a decade, if not longer. I will lead here. Okay, this isn't directed at you, and Jesus Christ,
Angela.
Dude,
in that case, that is a reboot each time. When they had
Good Lord Almighty,
Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. And then they reboot it for the new one. They've done reboots of that. And so, again, having a reboot and returning back to stage one, where he's in high school, makes perfect sense.
All right, hold on. There's some things that are expressly canonized in the mind when you think of a character. For Batman, his parents die. Alfred takes him in as a ward and essentially raises him, and he had the incident with the bat. Those three things are canon. If you pull that thread and remove one of those three events, he no longer becomes Batman. It's fucking impossible. His parents, if you remove his parents, hold on. If you remove, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. If you remove his parents dying, he can't be Batman because that's what set him down that path. He can't be, if you remove being raised by Alfred, he can't become the kind man that wouldn't kill, that has a strong moral center because it's Alfred that gave him that. And he can't become Batman if you remove the traumatic incident with the bat. Now, Spider-Man is the exact same. Uncle Ben has to die. Uncle Ben has to deliver that line to him to make him realize that with his powers, he has a responsibility to do good. Great power comes great responsibility. It is your job to do this. Without those two incidents, he can't become Spider-Man. Even if you give him the spider biting, he cannot become the same Spider-Man. He becomes a different character entirely.
And that's the thing, that you can have those characters. You can change the characters those way. It happens all the time in the DC setting where the different universes, things change. So you have Batman in the primary DC universe, but in other DC universes, you have the Batman you have Owlman, or you have Batman who isn't Bruce Wayne because it's his fucking father.
Or you have the Batman who laughed.
Yep.
You
have all these different versions of Batman, which are, if something in the world twisted, and it's always around one of those central character elements where you end up with Bruce's father being Batman, if instead of the parents dying, Bruce died.
Bruce did. And you also have his mother becoming the Joker because she goes mad when she sees her son dead. That's her blood becomes her smile.
Yep. So you have that, and then Owlman is what you get if he doesn't have the traumatizing bat experience, but instead he has an owl experience.
Well, Owlman also doesn't. He did not have Alfred.
Yep.
He wasn't raised by Alfred.
Yeah, he doesn't have Alfred, which causes him to be warped. But the reason why he's not just a warped Batman is because not only does he not have Alfred, but he also didn't have the same experience. So rather than him going, I'm going to terrify them, I'm going to become the thing that terrified me, I'm going to become a bat. He went, I'm going to terrify them. I'm going to terrify them the way that I was terrified. An owl. Different fucking story that changed one of those points. And it's a small change going from bats to an owl. But it's a change. And that change had an effect.
Again, for the movie universe, the Tom Holland run of movies made no fucking sense to begin with to me. In Far From Home, they made Tony Stark a complete moron. Tony Stark had contingency plans upon contingency plans. And for him not to have a fail-safe device in case Peter goes bad, yes, he trusts him, but trust is all well and good. After he's been manipulated by, somebody taking over his mind, after he's seen people that can shapeshift into other people, after he's dealt with aliens that were just fucking insanely powerful that could just make you do whatever the fuck they wanted, there's no failsafe to stop this device. Tony Stark would not design that. That is not a Tony Stark thing. Happy not knowing, nobody knowing who Mysterio really is. You're telling me that Nick Fury, who knows everything, didn't know that Mysterio was a fraud? Makes no fucking sense. I refuse to believe it.
See, the problem with that one is the damage that it did to other characters.
Yeah.
It did a good job with Spider-Man. It did a horrendous job with anyone else.
Yep.
I will say in counter argument tier,
Yes.
Perhaps he's doing it as a test to see if Spider-Man is someone who's up to be able to handle a task. That again, that's giving them that much benefit of a doubt. I don't think they're actually doing that, but
even with that, it would still be that, he would have it as a test, but he would still have that
a fail-safe device.
So if it goes too far, or if Peter fails the test, he then goes, "You've disappointed me." Flip.
Yeah, and he'd probably be able to disengage all the. He probably, fucking Nick Fury probably already had access to all of the Tony tech.
Well, no, it's not Nick Fury. It's the fact that Tony never left a failsafe. Again, you give him. I explained this to a girl I was talking to when we went to see the movie. You give a kid the keys to Ferrari, but you don't give you a means to, like, okay, well, you're punished. You got to stop driving. Nope, I got the keys to Ferrari, so I'm just going to fucking do it. And I get now. All right, fine. Then we can say it with Talon was responsible for that screw up. Okay, fine. I'll accept that. That was fucking Talon because Nick was off world, but you still had Maria Hill. And it's not like Mysterio. It was, and I hate how they turned Mysterio into like this dime store villain, this stage magician essentially, to this pissed off, fired employee.
Mm-hmm.
And all the shit he did was essentially teamwork and stage magic. And you're telling me no one fucking talked about this shit?
And yeah, that's absolutely what it is wrong. It's that the writers have been shit, and they don't understand the material. They don't understand the universe. They don't understand the rules of writing.
Yeah.
Because again, if you're going to have a character that is ridiculously powerful, and they're ridiculously powerful for no reason, and they're ridiculously skilled as well, then either you have to go for an arcless storytelling model. So a bunch of Asian works are really good for this. The Monkey King is ridiculously powerful from start to finish.
Well, he does go through an arc, though. The Monkey King go through an arc.
Kind of, but it's... With the Monkey King, he learns humility.
Yes, it's still an arc.
The one element. Yes. So with him, that is the one element. But then you have other characters. So, for example, a character from anime that he gains power throughout the entire series, but you take his personality from the start of the series to the end of the series,
Goku.
and he's the same fucking Goku.
I knew he was going to say Goku. Goku from start to finish the exact same from the beginning, and he has no arc. And it's all about him gaining power.
He is one of the quintessential arcless protagonists, which that isn't a bad thing. You can tell really good stories with arcless protagonists. The way that you tell a story with an arcless protagonist is you aren't telling the story of how the protagonist changes and reacts to the world. You're telling the story of how the world reacts and changes because of the protagonist.
Saitama does a fucking One Punch Man. Same. I don't want to do this. You know, it's the world changing around him.
And this is something that we've even touched on with Western writing as well, because Superman, to a large extent, ends up being an arcless character. Because he's not really gaining power. He's not really changing his morals or changing in any real tangible way.
Mm-hmm.
He will occasionally get hit with self-doubt and then he'll be pepped back up, but that returns him to where he was, so it's not really an arc as most people think about it. It's just a return to normal.
He gets knocked down, but he gets up again. Nothing to keep him down.
And again, it's the same thing where you have this character that the world is reacting to this character. And the best Superman stories, and even some of the really dog shit Superman stories, will get that right by showing other people start to emulate Superman despite not having his powers.
Shit, we were just talking about Steel.
Yep.
How he inspires people.
Yeah, he inspires people, and you see the world change around Superman because he's the shining beacon. And there's a good way of telling that story, and it's been done really well by some people. It gets done really poorly by others.
Mm-hmm.
But again, when it's at its best, it's something that is obvious. People play up how bad of a father Goku was. Yeah.
Goku wasn't a bad father. And I can prove how I can prove it.
He wasn't a great father. He wasn't a bad father either.
I would challenge to say he was a great father. He just wasn't a great human father. Hear me out. The way Saiyans are raised, they are sent off planet to destroy and grow stronger. If they survive, they come back and they're properly raised. However, Goku never sent Gohan away, and when Gohan was young, Goku was there. It is only when Goku had the instant like, holy shit, there are beings out there that's going to destroy our planet, and I need to get stronger so I can protect my children, and my planet. That he started to lead, because again, when he goes in the first episode of Dragon Ball Z, they didn't even know he had a kid. Like they were all getting back together, so he couldn't have been gone, off doing fuck all. He couldn't have been training, so he had to be home raising Gohan, or with him. So again, it plays up that he's a bad father. I don't think he is. And when he realized, holy shit, my kid has this amazing power that will one day be needed when I'm not around, I gotta do Gohan. I'm sorry I gotta throw you to the lion, but hey, is what I gotta do. And mind you, he was dead for Goten's life, most of Goten's young life. He was dead. So,
like I said, I would put him in the camp of he's not a great father, but he's not a bad father either. He was a father that wasn't able to be around. So the thing that he did that was a good father action was he picked people that were capable of being there for his kid effectively.
I mean,
Vegeta.
I don't even think Vegeta was a bad father. Vegeta was also a great father by comparison to what. Again, he was in Trunks' life. I'm assuming he helped raise Trunks and treated Trunks like a son. Even when he was like, I would rather be fucking fighting than raising.
A good chunk of this seems to be that you're grading on a scale, or grading on a.
Just remember, Vegeta didn't go train with Whis because he was waiting for Bulma to conceive her child.
Vegeta was a very good husband. I would absolutely say Vegeta was a great husband.
I say he was a great father too. Again, in the child's life,
that
he wasn't a black father. He didn't go out for milk.
I'm saying that you're grading on a curve because, like I said, I don't think that they are great fathers. I don't think that they're god-awful fathers either. They're in the middle. They're messy. Because some aspects, they're good. Some aspects, they're kind of shit. You're grading on the curve of, well, they're better than the Saiyan fathers typically are. Which, okay, yeah.
I don't think I'm great on this. I don't think I'm great. I'm looking at the totality of everything presented. If you look at from the first arc with Raditz to from that one to the end of the Saiyan shit, Goku was in Gohan's life, and the only reason Gohan went off for a year to go to Planet Namek, wish his friend back. So it's not that and he was dead for that entire span of time while Gohan was being trained because he needed to get stronger. So did Gohan. He was in Gohan's life up into the Frieza shit. He was there. From the Frieza shit to the Android shit, he was there in Gohan's life. He died. Well, he died, and he wasn't there for the teen years because, again, he was dead.
And he wasn't there until Frieza because he ends up joining up with them on Namek.
But again, Gohan had also was on Namek. So it's not that he didn't want to go. He was in the hospital, and again, it's not him being a bad father there. Oh, my son's on a dangerous mission. I need to go after him. I need to go help him. You know?
Like I said, I would say he wasn't a good father, but he wasn't a bad father. He was in between because he wasn't in his son's life as much as he should have been. Part of that was, just
dead
shit that happens because he fucking dies. And part of that was he did go off and train for extended periods of time. And he didn't involve himself in his kid's life in every respect. He involved himself in his kid's life when his kid's life was interesting to him.
Well, no. Again, he was looking at the entire series. Up until the writer shit, he was there. He dies. Gohan gets trained by Piccolo. Come back, and then Gohan gets sent on a mission to go get the other Dragon Balls from Namek. Goku goes after him, so he's there with him there. Gohan gets wished back to Earth. Goku had to stay on the planet. He had to travel there again. So again, circumstances. The android shit happens. He stays with Gohan to train him there, and then the android incidents up into his death. So he was in Gohan's life. Circumstances, it was circumstances.
And like I said, he died in
himself.
Gohan's life to the extent that Gohan's life interested him effectively. Because he was in it to train him. He was in it for shit like that. But from the way that Chi-Chi talks, he wasn't really involved in everything else that Gohan did. He wasn't interested in it. He was more interested in doing what he's always done, which is training, fighting, and he was there, but he wasn't engaging in his kid's life. And what's the vital piece of information that everyone forgets? Rotten.
I think we're seeing it from Chi-Chi's perspective, and I think Chi-Chi was wrong, and I think if you look at everything he's been there, he spent most of his time like missions. It wasn't that he went off and decided to go train, because that year that they were waiting for the androids to happen, he was there with Gohan, training Gohan. Gohan was still getting his lessons, and I'm pretty sure they had downtime and they would talk and shit. From there, he dies at the end of the Cell game, so he doesn't see Gohan become an adult or teenage Gohan, because again, he's fucking dead. And he said, like, please don't wish me back, because I'm the reason why all this shit keeps happening. I'm the magnetic draw. It's because of me that all this shit keeps going down. So from Teen Gohan's years, he's dead. And then he comes back and he doesn't have the shit with Whis until Gohan's a grown-ass man. So again, it wasn't extended periods of time.
Rotten, he did and didn't train him. So he didn't train him as much as he wanted to train him. And he would, as often as he could, make it so that it was his friends training him rather than him training him.
Yeah, he does spend time with him. The movies show that Goku and Gohan did go fishing together. So there were incidents where
again, my statement was he does get involved in his life, but he gets involved in his life in the ways that he finds interesting.
I don't think
fishing, it's something that he enjoys, because it's shit that he did not just with Gohan, but he did it for his own enjoyment.
Yeah, Gohan didn't receive any training until after the Raditz fight. So he had to be in his life, because Goku hadn't seen his friends in a while. So he couldn't have been training there. He had to be raising Gohan.
He had to be there, but you're making the jump of because he was there, that he had to have been extremely involved. And from the comments that we have from other people who were there in the series, he was there, but that second bit of so he was extremely involved doesn't.
Again, we're seeing it from we're seeing it from Chi-Chi's perspective, where she just wished Goku, just the wishful thinking of a wife, like, hey, I wish he would spend more time with his kid. Not saying he didn't spend any more time with his kid, or that he didn't, like, hey, talk to his son. It wasn't like he was a complete utter stranger.
Again, my statement was never that he was a complete stranger. My statement was he was involved in his kid's life, but he was involved in his kid's life in the ways that most interested him, and he was disengaged from the elements that didn't.
Again, by the time we see Goku and Gohan, all the shit of the story start kicking off. Goku being dead doing a ratted shit while Gohan is being trained. Again, the mission to Namek. Again, Goku coming, them getting wished back to Earth, and Goku having to travel conventionally. So it is not that Goku didn't want to be there or what, oh, well, I'm going to go off and train, for this entire year while my kid's having a whole life on Earth. Well, I got to get to my kid first off. And then again, they were together during the lead up to the android shit because, again, they appeared together. So they had to be together. Even if it was them training, I'm pretty sure they still talked and had father-son moments and bonded because whatever. And after the Cell shit, he's dead again. It's not that he didn't want to be in his life. He's fucking dead.
Again, the furthest that I would go is he wasn't a terrible father. He wasn't an amazing father. He was in between. I'd put him on the same scale as a father who's a bit too busy with work, but is still there. He's not always gone, but he isn't going to all of his kid shit because, again, there were chunks of the story where he couldn't be. But
yeah, he was dead.
but after watching all of DBZ and all of the other series, how much of a fucking impediment is being dead?
Well, again, we don't know what happened after.
The answer is it
after the Cell Saga shit.
That much of an impediment.
Oh, it is. Because again, Goku wasn't going to be wished back after a while. Well, then again, he could be wished back. I don't know. Because then we Dragon Ball getting the power boost. All right, fine. But dead is still being dead when you want to be dead. Like, hey, stop. Don't resurrect me because if I'm alive, these motherfuckers will come. Again, the end of the Cell Saga was supposed to be the end of the series, and Toriyama planted that way. And that's why Goku stayed dead.
My statement that he is not a bad father, but not a great father, still sticks. Because he doesn't do the things that, to my mind, are required in order to be a great father. He does the things that make it so that he is absolutely not a bad father because he sacrifices himself for his kid countless times. You can't be a bad father while sacrificing yourself for your kids.
But
you're also beating them like a redheaded stepchild or doing horrendous things to them, and then you sacrifice yourself for them. That makes you very confusing, but you're still shit because you did horrendous things to your kids.
I mean, again, you got. I'll use the example of fucking Vegeta. Vegeta come from a warrior culture, and fighting is their language. So him beating Trunks, him fighting Trunks, it's making him tougher. That's a good dad, and you got to grade from their perspective.
And that's why I said that you're going on a curve.
And it's not that you can't change my mind, and it's just that this is one of those arguments.
By going to Well, compared to the other Saiyan dads. Yes, compared to the other Saiyan dads, they are far nicer. But you have to go to other Saiyan dads in order to do that.
But they are Saiyans, so you have to look at the by comparison of other Saiyans. You can't just say, oh well, by human perspective, they're horrible people. Well, again, they aren't human; they're Saiyans. So you have to look at other Saiyan dads. Vegeta's father was a fucking monster.
Yeah, but at the same time, they spend all their times around humans. They're able to be very human in every other respect. So we can't just assume that they'd be able to be human in being a father as well. Well, no, I think that you can, because they're able to be very human in all these other instances. And that's what makes them so relatable. It's why people are able to connect. And you could say, well, they are an improvement and they're getting there. And I would go, absolutely, they are an improvement. They are moving in the right direction.
You know, you guys both generate such enthusiastic arguments, but I just want to toss this in there. Isn't it Mother's Day this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to give you a, but don't
remind me.
Mother's Day on Sunday, which I'll actually be able to go have a good dinner with my mom.
Don't remind me.
Because the following week, I'm getting teeth ripped out of my head.
Oh.
Wisdom teeth.
Yep. So she's coming up to take me to that and kind of help out afterwards.
She's going to take care of her little baby.
Effectively, yeah. Hey, I need someone who can drive me in. So she's coming up. She's going to drive me in. She's going to make sure that I'm okay afterwards. Mm-hmm. And then once I'm good to go, depending on how many days that takes, it should be 3 to 5, I think, is the normal wisdom tooth removal recovery.
But I think I think mine's lasted for about a weekend. A little over. But I had vacation.
Like
I know I had vacation days. I used the Wednesday. I think Thursday, Friday. I think the thing I had Friday was ice cream. By return to work, I was right as rain.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So depending on how long it takes me, because I tend to heal quickly, if it's not at a point where she's going, I have to head back home, then we'll just have a couple more good dinners and then she'll head back.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, enjoy your mother's company, my friend.
Yep. It should be done. My mom is fantastic. Also, she can be extremely intimidating to a lot of people.
One of those mothers.
Oh, she was a Marine for 35 years.
One of those mothers.
And she was a CW04, CW05 for the end of that. Yeah, she intimidating as shit to a lot of people.
Okay.
The running joke between her and I throughout a good chunk of my high school and college was that either one of us could tear through the rest of the family no problem. But both of us would end up having the most trouble with the other one. And it would be a coin toss which way it panned out, because I had absolutely monstrous strength.
Okay.
But she had the experience and training.
The hell?
I believe that's a puppy playing with Adam.
I thought Adam was growling.
Nope, I think that was Jake.
Yeah. Sorry.
Not a problem.
Jake's a goofy pumps.
Yep.
I have to ask, where's the fat man?
Wait, what?
Don't tell me you don't. Jake and the Fat Man? Old TV show?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
It's an old, I think it was a buddy cop, police procedural detective thing.
So that just made me think of the two dog police procedurals, which were so fucking weird.
What, K9 and with Jim Belushi?
Bernetti and Hooch.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Bernetti and Hooch?
All right, no, sorry, Tequila and Bernetti. And it's not Hooch. What was the... There was one that...
Turner and Hooch's.
Yeah, there's Turner and Hooch, but that isn't...
Nah, I remember K9. It was Jim Belushi with the police dog, and he didn't want it, and eventually he warms up to it.
There's one that was Frank Boyle. That's the guy who was Frankenstein's monster in Young Frankenstein, right?
I believe so, yes.
So it was him as the dog. Because he was a police detective that dies on the job and gets reincarnated as a dog.
Nice. Man, it must
And he
suck.
was a pervy son of a bitch throughout the entire thing. It was weird as shit, but funny. But yeah, Tequila and Benetti was the one that I was thinking.
Andrew, what was well done? Like, I missed that one. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do my daily for Star Trek Online while I'm on stream. Totally forgot I had to do it. All right. Fucking Tholians.
Phoneys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead first.
What?
You were mid-sentence and I cut you off.
Oh, I was with the Tholian assholes that are technically energy spiders from Star Trek.
I just realized I forgot to tell you guys what I'm having for dinner tonight while I was cooking it up.
Oh yeah, Sanguine. What's for dinner?
What's for dinner, Sanguine?
Dinner tonight is about a pound of bread,
Okay.
then a pound of ribeye that was sous vide to beautiful medium rare, then sliced up, and it's a rare medium rare, just the way I like it. So a bit more red than standard medium rare, but absolutely fucking delicious. Really juicy, tender. Whiskey mushrooms, and then roast up zucchini with smoked garlic.
Okay.
Really fucking tasty.
Yeah, that does sound tasty.
And then I think for my drink, I'm going to do a Boilermaker.
Okay. Oh, Jake the Fat Man reference. Okay.
For those who don't know what a Boilermaker is beer with whiskey. Where the whiskey is either poured straight into the beer or dropped down in a shot glass into the beer. And you can do double boilers, triple boilers, quadruple boilers, and the multiplier is on the number of shots of whiskey going into the beer.
Again, the word is sounds tasty.
Mm-hmm. It'll be absolutely delicious, and I'm just about finished up. Actually, I won't do a Boilermaker. What I'm going to do is instead do a finger of one of my whiskeys, though I haven't decided which one. Should I do a fairly higher quality grade that's somewhat chocolatey? Should I do a kind of mid-grade that's just a really solid Irish whiskey? Or should I do a daily driver?
Driver.
Daily driver?
Daily driver.
Holy diver.
In that case, I'm going to do a little bit of the Whistler.
Not bad.
You say we're doing the Whistler. It's an old
Radio show.
detective. Yeah.
Yep.
The Whistler.
Yeah, there's a whiskey by the name of the Whistler as well, which is about the same price point as a Jameson.
Mm-hmm.
And it's... Some people prefer Whistler, some people prefer Jameson. Either way, you get a rather affordable, easy to drink whiskey for everyday drinking, rather than if I went for like an Athru. Athru is $120, $140 a bottle.
Okay.
Whereas Whistler and Jameson for a standard bottles like $25. So massive price difference between those. And while there's definitely a difference, and there's definitely something that you'd be going, oh yeah, this one's better, it isn't something that you would be going, well, this one's god-awful. It's, this one's good, but this one's better.
This one's good. Which was that one?
Yeah. And while there are times that I definitely would go, I'm going to reach for the Athro. There's also a bunch of times when it isn't needed to go for the Athro and just going for a Whistler Double Oak or a Jameson or one of the other whiskeys about the same price point makes a lot of sense. And if anyone is interested, it's from Boan Distillery.
Someone's gonna finger his whiskey.
And the beer that I'm having tonight is a Irish Red. This one is Boulevard Brewing's Irish Red. So it's an Irish Red made by an American company.
Very nice.
God damn it, Sanguine.
What?
Oh, this is how you enjoy a nice meal on a Friday evening.
Yep.
Your dwarven belly.
They're delicious.
You are a dwarf and you're digging a hole. Digging. Sorry. I think you know that song. You know the song, Your People.
Absolutely. But yeah, the bread came out amazing as well tonight. But yeah, that's my dinner.
Well, that sounds good.
I also realized, I forgot to tell everyone, the reason why I decided to title the stream, I was told there would be an earth-shattering kaboom. Not only is it a great reference, but also just the sheer number of doomsday prophecies that I've been hearing recently. And we keep on blowing past all of their, this is the day that everything's going to go to shit. Because I've heard like 5 times that the economy is going to just completely collapse. Bottom can fall out and everything go to it.
It's going to be Matt Star, cats and dogs. Let me go. Matt Star. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't help that one.
Yeah. And then that we're going to be entering into war after war after war after war, and that we'll never recover, and yet everything just keeps on trucking along, that the economic downturn has, for the most part, reversed.
I'm still waiting for World War II to kick off. Feel insulted.
You mean 3?
3. Yes, sorry. I want 3 too.
If you were waiting for World War II, you're a bit late for that.
I am. I remember World War II. So many corpses, so many bones. Beautiful. And the Germans let me experiment on people. Even better. What? Did I say something wrong?
God damn it, here.
What? I mean, Hitler was let me experiment on people. That was always nice, you know. Okay, so you want somebody revived? I got you, buddy.
But yeah, just every time that there's another, everything's going to go to shit, everything's going to be destroyed, we just keep on blowing through it and blowing through it and blowing through it without any sign of
stopping
anything bad happening.
It's the left. It had become a doomsday cult.
Yep.
They really are. It's the end of the world as we know it, and any moment now. Yep. Oh no. Our doomsday prophecy wasn't wrong. We just carved the T and died the I wrong. Let me go back and go do the calculations.
Mm-hmm.
Up. It's gonna be 2 weeks from now. Yep, 2 weeks from now. No. I meant 2 weeks from the time I tell you, not 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, it's the rapture predictions all over again.
It fucking is.
And it's not something that is just something that the left does. It's just every so often the baton gets handed back and forth.
I'm still waiting for Florida to be underwater, California to be underwater, New York to be underwater, the world to be underwater. I'm just waiting, Oh, and we both all died. I believe they did a 5-year prediction for when AOC was last from the last Trump election. I'm still waiting to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Deader. Again, it's just a constant. Like I said, it's a doomsday call. It is constantly. Oh, worst case scenario, World War 25. Everybody's going to be at war. The whole planet's going to die in the nuclear holocaust if we don't help Ukraine defeat, Russia. Russia's going to steamroll the planet if we don't stop making Ukraine. It's a prelude, Y'all better stop making Ukraine. No. Okay.
Shit, I hope that doesn't happen.
Russia can't do that. If Russia, I'm not afraid of China or Russia. On the ground that China and Russia have a friendly relationship, as the whole point of their relationship is, I'm only with you because you're against the guys I'm against.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like each other. Like, we're not friends. Like, we aren't buddies. We hate each other.
And probably the funniest thing for me is recently there was the announcement from OPEC that they're massively increasing their oil production.
Yep.
And people took this as, they're launching an attack on the U.S. The U.S. can get by with low oil prices. The U.S. can get by with high oil prices. The U.S. can produce oil.
I'm not your friend, pal.
The entire fucking time, our economy isn't a petro economy. Do you know what country has a petro economy?
What? Which country?
Russia. Do you know what other economy has a petro economy?
What other country?
Fucking Venezuela.
And look how they're. Oh, well, Venezuela's doing pretty well.
Or am I thinking the right country? Which one is
the one with Maduro?
Yeah. That is
yeah.
Venezuela, right?
Yeah, he's Venezuela.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always confuse that and Argentina. And I just pissed off every Venezuelan and Argentinian.
And they don't watch they don't watch these streams.
You
They're
never
too
know.
busy drinking tequila.
But yeah, there's those economies are going to get fucked over by oil prices suddenly dropping. Most of the US is going to go, oh, sweet, thank you, and be happy. The portion of the US that might go, this kind of sucks, is our oil producers. But also our oil producers might just have an attitude of, we dipped it down lower last time and continue to produce without any real issue. Because, yeah, we tanked the price of oil back during Trump's first term.
So India and Pakistan are starting to saber rattle.
Yep.
And
beyond that, they've started bombing the shit out of each other.
Yeah. I think they're fighting over Kashmir again. Between that, fucking Ukraine and Hamas, the Houthis like, yeah, we don't want to fight anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trump is doing pretty well. I mean, again, he doesn't want. I hope he doesn't take a world police stance, which he hasn't. Like the only reason why he's doing shit with Russia and Ukraine is because we're kind of in bed with them, and they owe us a shit ton of money.
Also, I find it hilarious the number of people that have tried to go, oh man, Zelensky must have negotiated his ass off during the papal funeral proceeding.
Nope. Oh, I seen the papal funeral. Oh, when he told Macron to get the fuck out. Like they brought two chairs, and Macron like, what the fuck? Nope. Take your ass out somewhere else, Macron. Go away. This is the adults are talking. Well, and I'm scalding my son. You could see the look on his face. Yeah, he was yep. Kind of kick ass at the Cardinals, and like
the deal that was reached is just a softened hard sell of the first deal, because the first deal was a hard sell. It was, we get everything from this mineral region that we want, and due to us being there, you kind of have implicit agreement that we have buy into your defense, because
they attack you, they'll attack us. Some of us can get hurt.
They'll attack us. Some of us will get hurt. Any of us get hurt, we're coming in. And also, we've made this agreement with you. They have no reason to allow us to keep this shit if they come in. And it's been softened to now, rather than 100%, it's a 50-50 deal, where we get 50% of the resources, you get 50% of the resources. You also get advisors from us that'll come over and help your industries, give you better techniques, better equipment, which also helps us because throughout this deal, anything that you get, we get 50% of. Anything that we get, you get 50% of.
I want to propose this idea, and I think this is a part of the big ask. A few of the smaller things that Trump brought up went in favor of against Trump, and I think they're trying to do. Oh, well, we gave all these little tiny things, so when he gets this one big thing, oh well, y'all remember we kind of kicked his ass on these little tiny shit, so it kind of evens out. I really think they're gonna push the birthright citizenship. Does not mean what they say it means. You can't be a foreign national and have birthright citizenship. So that would end, and I pray to God it does. It would fucking end birth tourism.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going forward because honestly, it shouldn't be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You are beholden to another. If an American citizen is born abroad, they're technically Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that you come here, you're born here, you're suddenly American? No, bitch. Nope.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, there's 2 countries where if you just happen to give birth in them, your child is of that country, is a citizen of that country. They are the U.S. and Canada.
And no one you can understand.
Every other nation, if your parents aren't citizens, then doesn't matter where you're born, you aren't a citizen of their nation. And if at least one of your parents is a citizen, doesn't matter where you were born, you're a citizen. Which is a common sense approach to birthright citizenship. And the argument for that with the law as it's written is in the law that started birthright citizenship, it says anyone that is under the authority of the U.S., which would include legal aliens.
But see, the problem is most people don't. Again, the context in which it was written was intended to give slaves, freed slaves, who were born here, a nation. It was literally saying, "Hey, all right, well, you were born here. You know no other land but this one. So by virtue of you being born here, you are a citizen." And that's what it meant, and that's what it should have meant.
Yep.
It wasn't using the context of someone with a foreign allegiance coming over and saying, "Oh, well, because my kid was born here, even though I'm technically someone from another fucking country with a foreign allegiance, oh, my kid's now American and they're entitled to everything an American is entitled to." No, motherfucker, you are not. You're not entitled by virtue of birth because you still are beholden to another country. You're not one of us. And
that was the intention. Unfortunately, they didn't properly bind it because it should have been bound by time.
I like that one. I keep asking Brits to take back Carney Sanguine. They keep telling me no, like a hard pass no.
Yep. Oh, that was another thing that was hilarious that happened recently.
Oh, how he kissed the ring.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Ran an entire election on fuck them, fuck Trump,
and knelt before the God Emperor. Like,
and then gets elected, and immediately, we'll make a deal. Yep. Also, I heard that Albertans, seriously or not, have started trying to get the petition for seceding from Canada and joining the U.S.
Really? Fucking A. I mean, and he was saying, never say never. Never say never.
Yeah, Jen just said that Alberta independence is at 55%.
What do you need for a ratifying vote?
And that is on the official site. So take into account that the poll did reach everyone. And I was looking for one. Do you mean didn't reach everyone rather than did reach everyone?
Like, again, I will welcome our Kanakastani brethren to become an American brethren. Jen, please enjoy the fruits of landed in the land, or you will now become a member of Fredonia. So I will stop calling you a Kanakastani. You will be now a fellow Fredonian. You will live in the land of freedom. And you will look.
She did mean didn't rather than did.
Oh,
So
and
is at 55%, and it hasn't reached everyone.
And
she thinks that the current law is that it needs a 65%.
Okay, and Jen, I'll sweeten the pot. I will sweeten the pot. You know what I'll do? I will allow you. You will be mailed your gun. I will make sure I expedite you getting your gun as fast as possible, and I'll let you pick from the catalog. You know, all Americans, all Fredonians have guns. It's just a rule. You know, so again, welcome to Fredonia. Hey, we gotta stop calling you Snow Mexican too. Oh, I guess that would be bad.
Snow Mexican.
Yeah, she's a Snow Mexican.
You could start calling her North Montana.
North Montanan.
Yeah, North Montanan, North Montananite, whichever way you prefer. But yeah, it was something that I found absolutely hilarious when I saw that there was a petition for independence, as well as there's currently people that are floating a petition to join the U.S.
Again, welcome, sister.
And I would find it absolutely hilarious if the petition to join the U.S. went through as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they were granted 51st statehood.
Oh, man, that would piss off a lot. Piss off a fucking metric ton of people.
Oh, it's hilarious. And the part that would piss off people the most is there would be a shit ton of people that would be absolutely enraged that they got statehood before Puerto Rico.
I don't think Puerto Rico needs statehood.
I don't think
they want statehood.
There's a certain element of Puerto Rico that wants statehood. There's a bunch of Democrats that want Puerto Rico to get statehood. But then there's also a bunch of Puerto Ricans that don't want statehood, and also it's not well run enough that I think that we should accept it.
So right now they have a level of sovereignty not seen with the states.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at any point they could petition to leave us as protectorates.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they're a protectorate, and if they wanted to negotiate like a separate deal outside of us, it's possible that I think they could do that too. I'm not sure, but I think they could negotiate
hoops.
Yeah, they probably had to jump through like a shit ton of fucking hoops to do it, but I think they can negotiate separate deals, commerce and shit like that outside of us. Even with a potential enemy, I think that would be beyond the pale, but I think they could do it.
They can't declare war and they can't abstain from war, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but they still have some of the response. What's the word I'm looking for? Responsibilities, if you will, like taxes. I think they are exempt from taxes, in a sense. I think they are exempt from taxes, and I think they. What else? Tax exemption, measured sovereignty. Oh, and we tend to fund a lot of the shit they do. Like we fund them through aid and shit, and that's just part of like our budget.
Mm-hmm.
People want fucking DC to get statehood, but DC doesn't. Like, if you would have to negotiate between Virginia, and it would have to be ratified between Virginia and Maryland to get statehood, and it's not a fucking state; it's a city, a single city. It would be fucking insane to give DC statehood.
Yeah, the question then becomes why.
It's because more votes. It would automatically give them 2 senators because again, it's a state, so it automatically gets 2 senators, and it would give them a seat, at least 2 seats in House of Representatives.
Only 1. I don't think they're large enough for 2.
Well, but that's still it's a guaranteed Democratic thing, and if they can do it, it could be pushed in other Democratic cities. Baltimore, for instance, probably could petition itself and get statehood, which would be fucking insane. It's stupid, and effectively would make the mayor of the city a governor, which would be again fucking
It's not
insane.
that the main city that would be able to petition for statehood and have a stronger argument if Puerto Rico got statehood is DC. DC would have a stronger argument if Puerto Rico got statehood for DC to also get statehood.
Yeah, but again, it would give them it's highly favored. They believe they could. It would be Democratic control. You know.
Yeah, it would be for both of those. They believe 4 extra Senate seats.
Yeah, but they believe that Puerto Rico would go Democrat, but Puerto Rico are highly religious, staunchly Catholic, you know, and they wouldn't like half the shit that's being done. So I don't see it going well for them.
Well, given the way that Puerto Ricans vote for their own government, seems fairly reliable that it would be a Democratic stronghold.
I mean, technically, they do have a senator, if I'm not mistaken, but they're a non-voting senator. They can talk and shit, but they have no official power or votes. Senator. Hold on, I believe.
Except in the presidential election, they get 1 vote.
Yeah, but they don't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, yeah, she is a non-voting member.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I don't think they should get statehood. I don't think anybody should get statehood except for an official large enough territory, and Alberta should get statehood.
Like I said, it would be absolutely hilarious for Alberta to first secede from Canada, then to petition the U.S. and become the 51st state.
I mean, they could do it. Like I say, I more power to them, and I hope they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you hope?
What? Hope that Jen becomes a countryman? Yeah.
Oh.
Why wouldn't I? I mean, she's never done anything bad to me or wrong to me, so I hope she becomes our countryman. I'd have to be slightly nicer to her.
Also, I found it hilarious that Trump said that when the election was ongoing, For U.S. interests, he was hoping that the current guy would become the prime minister.
Because
But
he's a
for
weak one.
Canadian standards, he was hoping that the conservative would take power in Canada. That has to be one of the funniest lines for me, to hear a sitting politician say, yeah, as the leader of another nation, I'm really happy this guy got the position. Because
I mean, he's a weak one.
he's really easy to deal with. The other guy
Shit.
would have been a bit more difficult, but it would have been better for Canada.
Shit. If you look at it, there was a press con. I was watching Luxembourg's channel, and he was going through the press conference with the current prime minister, and Trump just dominated the entire fucking thing. He, like, you going to end the tariffs? Well, no, I'm not going to end the tariffs. No.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see him look dejected, like, wow. No, I'm not in
the best answer is President Trump. What are you hoping to get out of this friendship? Just immediately, friendship. No hesitation, no delay, no long answer for that. Just short and sweet to the point.
Yep. Again, this and they never fucking understand it. They will never understand, and they play right into his fucking hands too. How can I know y'all heard me say this before. The more they attack Trump, the stronger he gets.
I mean, take the point. Oh wait.
No, look. Think about it. If they'd have left him alone, if they'd have left Trump alone during the whole fucking after the election shit, he would not have gained as much traction. His meteoric rise to popularity was largely due to the fact that they went after him. But if they let him rage in silence, like just scream in the dark, he'd have faded out.
I've said it before. If someone is screaming that they're going to be silenced, and you try to silence them, you have turned them from a madman into a prophet.
Yep.
If someone says that they're going to be attacked politically, and then you attack them politically, you have turned a madman into a prophet. If someone says that they're going to be attacked physically, and you attack them physically, you have turned a madman into a prophet. The best thing that you could do with someone who's saying that they're going to be silenced, that they're going to be attacked, that they're going to be pursued politically, is allow them to speak and then laugh at them.
Yep. Let them just scream. But the problem with the left, they couldn't do that. They had you driven him into a corner, but you wanted to twist the knife and finish him off for good. But you forgot he still has claws and teeth.
Well, the main issue is that they have had a desire for racism that outstrips the supply. Which is why they have routinely had to ignore every statement denouncing racism from Trump and others. I had someone
or twist like a statement to mean something that it doesn't.
Yep.
Like, remember the stand down and stand by?
Yep. I had someone that I got into an argument with recently where they said all Trump needed to do was to at some point, denounce white supremacy.
He did. Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I went, oh, okay, so what do you mean by denounce white supremacy? And then I grabbed 2 quotes and I said, do you mean something like one of these? And let me quickly find the 2 quotes again so I can get the right ones going for it. Because it was... Find it. Sorry, taking a little bit to find the 2 quotes that I found earlier. And should have had this ready, but I wasn't expecting, and then the conversation just went this way naturally.
As it does.
Yep.
And then the ages pass, and then Tyr said a word.
Because I remember one of them was the second part of the very fine people quote.
And I'm not talking about white nationalists or, bigots or racists. They should be condemned entirely.
Yep, exactly, that one. And then the other one was the statement that he made the day before that quote. Here, let me look for it this way.
Will you denounce white national racism? I did several times. I will say it. I denounce them. They're evil. They're fucking scum. I don't particularly care for them. I hope they burn in hell. Like, what more do you want? And fucking, do you remember Jake Tapper, the debate with the first Biden debate where it wasn't him and Biden debating? It was fucking Jake Tapper and Biden, Trump debating?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was 2020. 2020 elections.
Yep, that was the 2020 election ones. But here they are. So it was the first quote that I pulled up. The first chronologically, I put second, is, as I said on Saturday, we condemn in the strongest terms possible the egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. It has no place in America. And as I have said many times before, no matter the color of our skin, we all live under the same laws. We all salute the same great flag. We are all made by the same almighty God. We must love each other, show affection for each other, and unite together in condemnation of hatred, bigotry, and violence. We must rediscover the bonds of love and loyalty that bring us together as Americans. Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. We are a nation founded on the truth that all of us are created equal. We are equal in the eyes of our Creator. We are equal under the law. We are equal under our Constitution. Those who spread violence in the name of bigotry strike at the very core of America. And then the second quote chronologically, but I brought it up first because it's the one that most people, if they're actually at all knowledgeable, they recognize this one. And it's they didn't put themselves down as you had some very bad people in that group, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very prominent statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfair. So, again, condemned totally. Also, one of the best lines in his first inaugural address is, I might not have the wording exactly correct, so bear with me. If I remember it off the top of my head, if you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for racism or bigotry. Which is
Adam phone's thing.
Yeah, I believe so as well. So I'm going to quickly mute him up. But that's a very well put and frankly eloquent line.
Mm-hmm.
That is also completely glossed over, despite it, in essence, saying that, yeah, if you hate another person because of their skin color, you can't be a patriot, because if you were an actual patriot, you couldn't find a reason to hate someone just based on skin color.
Yep. Again, they want to. The media is stupid, and people that believe. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's a lot of shit you can criticize Trump for.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shit. Oh, I was listening to somebody try to tell me that Trump raped of Melania.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Charlie Kirk and he dropped the guy he was debating, Turn Point USA, and he was like on the college campus. One of the college campuses said, well, Trump's a rapist. He raped Melania. What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if he did that, then why the fuck is she still with him?
Mm-hmm.
And technically, he didn't rape E. Jean. No one wants to rape E. Jean Carl.
Mm-hmm.
They found he didn't do it, but they still like pinned it on, some Kage no Jutsu reason to find him guilty.
The biggest problem that I had with that one, and it was the Kavanaugh case one, is they were both the results of recovered memories.
Yes. All right. That's the same issue I had with the what's his name? The Bill Cosby shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'll quickly go through it. You said in like the 80s, at the height of his popularity, he drugged you and he raped you.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't file a police report or you didn't say anything at the time. And I believe some of them were into it. And some of them thought, oh, if I do this, he's going to put me on Ghost Dad too.
No one wanted to be on Ghost Dad 2.
No one
wanted to be in Ghost Dad 1.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, he's gonna put me on this next movie. I'm becoming, this Hollywood star. Because honestly, ladies, there's been a lot of women who've spread their legs to get a role or a part or something.
See, I have a harder time defending him. I don't defend him, to be perfectly frank, because it was drugging and then sleeping with him. You do say that, yes, the women should have come forward earlier, but none of them were recovered memories. And again, they were drugged.
It's like the Harvey Weinstein shit. Like
the Harvey Weinstein ones, there's some of them that I will go, yes, Harvey Weinstein, absolutely disgusting son of a bitch. He should be in prison. And there were specific people that I would say did the right thing the right way, were absolutely victims or attempted victims of Harvey Weinstein.
And then there were some that were fucking into it. Like, okay, if do this.
And then there were some that were whores. And they were offered fame for sex. And
they sold their soul.
They went, okay, how famous we talking? And they came back with, oh, we're talking this famous. And they went, okay. So if we're talking that famous, yeah, I can fuck you.
And those are the ones that got mixed in with the others.
Legitimate cases.
Yeah, and all of them fucking profited from it.
Yeah, there's the Italian model one. I think she was an Italian model. She was either an Italian or a Spanish model.
Mm-hmm.
But she met Weinstein at a party. Weinstein said, well, I have a new movie coming up. You can audition for it. She wanted to get into acting, so she was very excited. She said, absolutely. And he then invited her over to his suite. And originally she went, oh, it's a suite, so it's 2 rooms. Go into the living room area and do the audition, and then fuck off. While she was in the suite, he tried to cop a feel. She slapped him.
Nice.
And then ran out of the room, saying, I'm not that kind of fucking woman. Or rather, he tried to cop a feel and then obviously was trying to do more.
Yeah.
Slapped him, ran out of the room, said she's not that kind of woman, went to the police, went, hey, this is what just happened. This is wrong. The police said, are you willing to wear a body wire? And she went, yep, I'll wear a wire. I'll go back. She went back. He tried the same shit immediately after, while she is wearing a wire. All of it was recorded due to that.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to again fight him off of her and run out. That should have been a sexual assault charge.
Yes.
At the very least. Should have been
Agreed.
a sexual assault and attempted rape. More reasonably. Never went anywhere. Her career in Hollywood was also then stonewalled at every turn by Weinstein. That is fucked up. She was an actual victim.
Yes, I agree. She was a victim. But you
when
got
talking about
like
other ones. Yeah, when you're talking about other ones where it was, if you sleep with me, I'll give you the role. And then they slept with him and they got the role. They aren't the victims. They were prostitutes that negotiated a price, then fucked the guy, then decided after the fact I should have asked for more, and went after him. They shouldn't have gotten anything out of it.
Like, I believe Milano's one.
The people that I would say are the victims in those cases are the women that would have gotten a role in whatever production it was, that weren't willing to fuck the dirty old man in order to get the role, and so were denied a role because they wouldn't prostitute themselves. Those are the victims in those cases, not the women that got a role because they decided to fuck an old man. Now, it's not good. He was abusing his power.
Yes.
But I wouldn't say that, well, he raped those women. No, he engaged in prostitution.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. It isn't right. It shouldn't be condoned. But it isn't rape. If you go, hey, if you sleep with me, I'll give you this role and a shit ton of money. And then they sleep with him and they get the role and a shit ton of money.
Again, they be whores.
Yeah. And that's an important distinction to my mind. Because again, there are people that were actual victims that had shit happen to them that should not have happened to them, that they should not have had to deal with, that were actual goddamn victims. They deserve the credit for what they did trying to bring him down. And the police that had the recording from the Italian or Spanish model that didn't do anything, they should be gone after.
If they're alive.
Yeah, if they're alive, or at the very least, the police department should have to pay out to the woman or her surviving kin for their fuck up. That makes sense to me. It shouldn't be the children of officers involved, but if officers involved are still alive, they should get fucked over because they did it. And if officers involved aren't still alive, then again, it should be a case where they go, okay, you fucked up, you did this shit as a police department, so the police department will get fucked over.
At some point, I gotta have a bone of contention there. At some point, everybody involved in this issue has been either gone or dead, or
which is why I'm saying that it shouldn't be the people. At that point, it shouldn't be the people, because the people that were involved aren't around anymore. So you don't get to go after the children. You don't get to go after anyone like that. But the department still exists. And even though the department has changed hands, the department is still the department. So because it was the department that did it, the department should have to pay. Not individuals, but if the individuals are still alive, then it should be the individuals and the department. Because if you don't punish the department for having allowed shit like that, then they don't really have any incentive to prevent shit like that from happening again.
Fair enough.
So it's like how you've heard of the shit going on in Buffalo, right?
No.
Oh, you haven't heard about the shit going on in Baltimore. You know Angry Cops.
Baltimore.
Right? Oh, not Baltimore, in
that.
Buffalo.
Yes, I heard about that. Yes.
Right, Buffalo. Yeah. Angry Cops came forward, said that he had evidence that the Buffalo school district has been actively hiding crimes against children.
Yes.
And deliberately preventing police from being able to investigate. In one of the follow-ups of that, because I've done several, Fat Electrician, you know who he is, of course, right? He came forward and went, hey, there is actually an example, and I think it was from New York as well, that it was another case where a child had been abused, horrendously abused, by someone. The schools were notified of this, and then they didn't pursue it at all. And the DA didn't pursue it at all either. And that person was just recently paid out millions because it was made a law in New York that if something like that had happened and you have the ability to demonstrate that it was suppressed by state officials, then you're owed a payout by the state. So he did that. Got paid millions. And they said, you have the choice. You can either be the sort of DA that everyone claps on the back because you did the right thing and you helped children, or you can be the sort of DA where you end up having to pay millions, or the state ends up having to pay millions after your death because you fucked up. And your name is Mud from that point on, because everyone then knows you as the DA that allowed children to be abused. And it's the similar idea to me. It is, you have to make it so that the state suffers if they knowingly fucked up.
Isn't it weird how they use that as a bargaining chip? You don't want the state to have to pay for this, do you?
Well, it was because the DA at the time had already passed, so it was the state ended up having to pay. And it was more attacking the idea of legacy, because if you're the DA that after you die, someone comes forward and goes, yeah, this DA knowingly didn't charge a pedophile, your legacy's now shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because rather than being known as the DA that put away so-and-so or so-and-so or so-and-so, you're now the DA that purposefully smothered a child abuse case.
Or you're the DA that let a pedophile get away with murder.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So yeah, well, I don't think that you should be able to go after people's descendants when it comes to shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an organization, absolutely, you should be able to go after the organization. If a company under President so-and-so did horrendous shit, and then it comes to light that the company was hiding it, yeah, you should be able to go after that company and demand your pound of flesh from the company.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, well, that president for the company might have passed from the point when it occurred to now, so you can't go after them, and you can't go after their children. The company still exists, and that puts the fear in everyone that, oh, if I'm the person that fucks this up, not only will I be held responsible if I'm still alive at the time, but my legacy will be destroyed by this if I'm not still alive, and the company or the organization, whatever the fuck it is, will end up having to pay out because of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm a fan of that. I'm not a fan of sins of a father, but the organization is the organization. But it is that time, it seems.
Oh no.
Shall we go around the horn?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll let him go first this time.
Well, it was fun hanging out at the zoo, and I want to thank Sanguine for letting me hang out. And
Always fun.
Yeah, I love y'all. God bless.
Sweet. Fact about Sanguine, devour him. Don't let Sanguine devour you.
You have no choice in the matter if I hunger. And I'll leave off with courage is the art of being the only one who knows you're scared to death. And with that, have a good night all. The zoo is closed. This is when you two schmucks say good night.
Good night, all.
Night.
And now I click this and it takes